and welcome. I hope you're all doing good. And how did your 2022 try? Was it difficult, simple, or either it is successful or an average kind of year? So, whatever the result is and whatever the answer is, please don't be hard on yourself. In fact, we were all extremely skeptical when we stepped into 2022 after being into COVID for 2 years, right? So we are getting used to the new normal, and we had high hopes at the same time. So, but at the same cost, how did your learning in 2022 was? Like, did you learn anything new? You may have noticed an increase in the implementation and discussion of API testing in recent years. If you still can't get to know more about it, please don't feel intimidated. You can learn in 2023. So if you want to learn API testing in 2023, I have few tips for you. Okay, let's get started. So the first one, try to learn the technical terminologies around APIs and API testing, so that when the developers and the other stakeholders, when they use those technical jargon, you will not feel like isolated. So you will feel more confident when you know these terminologies or if you have heard it before. And the second one, learn the basics of API testing. When I say the basics of API testing, you should know how does an API test strategy works? How do we write API test cases? What should be verified as part of your API testing process? What are the different HTTP response codes? What is error handling in API? So these sort of questions. So you should know the basics of API testing. Second one. Third one, pick an open source tool. Okay, that should be a client where it mostly, if possible, pick a tool where it doesn't require any code for hitting the request, so that you can just, in a fraction of a moment, you can just try to play around with the APIs very easily. For example, Postman is one such tool. And it'll give you a very good look and feel of the APIs that you're going to use. And fourth one, pick any public APIs and try to play around with that. So building a request, trying to send those requests and just verifying the responses, and how, just to understand how does the response looks like what is the format of the responses, and so on. Because most of the public APIs just use an API key, okay? So they don't require any complex authentication method where you have to extensively spend your time, okay? So it's just a normal API key, which you can just get by creating a simple account or just a sign up, okay? And the fifth one, go through the API documentation, like whatever API you're picking on, go through the API documentation, build the request flow, and understand more about the API capabilities. For instance, when you're picking Twitter API, you can try to understand what are the capabilities of those Twitter API. Whether it can view the tweets, you can delete the tweets, you can update your profile, so on. So just trying to understand more the capabilities of those APIs will try to give a bigger picture, like the overall understanding about the entire API or entire project, even when you're speaking about your project. And the sixth step will be like start writing basic assertions for your response code, status message, time, and the response body. So these are the basic things that we will be validating as part of your API validation. So also, instead of hard coding those values for assertions, you can just try to use variables as such. And the seventh step, move on then to like upgrade yourself a little bit, where you're just trying to understand and write a middle level assertions by chaining those requests, like A request plus B plus C, and how does the data is flowing from one to another. So this is how you can just upgrade yourself to the next level. And step number 8, you can try to understand and write some automated code snippets wherever possible for repeated validation. For example, in assertions, you can try to write the automate code snippets based on the tool or framework, whatever you're using, like the language depends, right? And the 9th step will be learn more about the types of API testing right now. Okay, because it's not just the functional or the basic automation part that you have done. It's much more beyond that. So try to understand what are the types of API testing and start implementing them in the framework, whatever you have. So this is kind of learning path or a plan to getting started with API testing in 2023. Okay. Ultimately, if you enjoy reading, you can subscribe to my blogs as well. I also write some guest articles more around the APIs, software testing, automation, and also about the low-code, no-code revolution. Okay, I hope this will be useful for you. So to wrap it off, I just want to say or kind of reminder to all of you, maybe be kind to yourself and others. Focus on your mental health, expand your professional network, ask more questions, and follow your passion. Okay, I wish you a stable and successful 2023. Special mention, Gandharv, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. You are doing an amazing job for the community. Okay, keep doing that, and I really wish you all success. And my personal wishes for your wonderful 2023, and keep inspiring us. Okay, we need a lot of people like you to the community for this selfless help, whatever you're doing. Okay, you are amazing. Thank you so much.